G'day all, it's Colin from PCTLC and thanks for joining me. Today I'm looking at Makulu Linux Lindoz, and we're going to install this on the computer and then have a look around. So let's get on with the installation. Password is Makulu if asked. So today we're going to Monday UEFI. I'm going to use the whole disk. I'm going to erase disk. I've taken out my other disks that were connected, and I'm just going to, for a change, just erase disk. So this is another computer that I have that just has this 120 gig SSD in it, so hopefully all goes well with this one. Okay, just check our settings there, make sure everything looks good. All looks good. Okay, let's go next and install now. Okay, so we are done, and I will have to restart, and then we'll get back into the desktop and have a look around. Right, so we're back into Makulu after install. Just trying to do some updates here. I was saying I had a problem with updating, so I've done a sudo apt update besides installing simple screen recorder, sudo apt update, just to sort out the mirrors. I don't know what's going on there. I think I had that problem last time, so we're going to install updates. Actually, let me cancel that. We'll edit the preferences first. Just check for the fastest mirrors first before I do anything. Okay, so it looks like there's not a lot to choose from there anyway. I'll go for the IINet like I normally do. Just update that cache. Close that. Let's install updates. This update will trigger additional changes. Okay. Oh, it's still going. Okay, so let's install updates now. Okay. Okay, we have a check configuring grub EFI AMD64. What I might do here is keep the local version. I think I've normally done that in the past, so things are working with that, so we'll just continue with that one. Okay, so it appears our updates are complete. I'm not quite sure. It looks that way. Your system is up to date. Didn't really tell me anything. Now we've got the green tick. So what I might do is I will just do a restart just to be sure everything's been refreshed. So I'll do a restart. We'll be back in the desktop after a restart. So we have done a restart. We're back onto the desktop. So everything seemed to have gone okay. So we can now have a look around the Makulu Linux desktop. So what we have here is we have a highly configured configurable menu, which is this one here. Now normally this thing has a quite a few different styles, but it looks like in this case there's no options for styling. You've just got the one menu. So all applications, app grid for installing your applications. I've always found this thing, a lot of people say it's very quick. I always find it very slow to load things, this one. It's always for me been slow. It's a very slow application loading. So I don't know if that's the only thing we have. That must be the only software center we have in here is app grid. We can do a search. So we have Audacity there. Let's have a look, see what the 2.1.2-1. Okay. And that's a software center down there as well. I've got a shortcut to that. Got a repository updater there. Let's just click on that and see what happens. Everything should be up to date anyway, but that's just checking the sources to make sure there's no extra sources being added. All looks good. So let's just have a look at our accessories. We're running the Variety wallpaper. So that wallpaper actually changed upon boot. And games, we've got Play on Linux and Steam. And it's running Nomax for your image viewer. Pinter for editing, image editing. Image Magic, which is an image editor as well, display and edit image files. My Paint. Discord is installed, Mail Spring is installed. A Makulu Linux live chat room, Mega Sync. Now, easy automated syncing between your computers and your Mega Cloud Drive. Read Makulu Linux latest news. Ubuntu Google Drive client, Overdrive, and Skype Internet. Okay. WPS Office, not really keen on WPS, I prefer Libre. Lollipop is a music player, yep. Kazam screen recorder. Pulse Audio, simple screen recorder I've installed. Got a sound separate sound recorder and VLC media player. Got your wine and the standard preferences for your Cinnamon desktop and admin. So we've got a donations button here. You got the Makulu toolbox for driver manager, Makulu forums, chat room, source location, refresh your sources, software center. In the toolbox we have an option of app grid or package manager. So that would be Synaptic, I would say. Yep, that's Synaptic. Update manager, report bugs, firewall options, update antivirus. Don't know if there's an antivirus in there. So it appears that for some reason things just don't seem to be working, so let's close that. I think it's crashed. Yes, it's crashed. Update antivirus. Clone your system to reinstall and donate to Makulu. So we've got firewall options. We can turn that on. I won't do that now. Now we have the variety wallpaper changer. Wallpaper selector, which is pretty handy, that one, I must say. It's got some pretty nice wallpaper in here, I must say. It's pretty nice wallpaper indeed. Absolutely stunning. I don't normally go too much into wallpaper, but these ones are pretty good. And it just goes on and on. Right click and close. Got your Nemo file manager. Right click, open as root if you want, sharing options. That's the live disk that I installed with. System settings, themes. So what have we got for themes? We have probably plenty. We can theme it out to look like Windows 10, which the icons already are. Win 10 grey. That'll do, and Win 10. So that looks pretty nice. I like that better. It doesn't have that white background. It looks a lot more. Looks a lot better that with the black background with a little bit of transparency there. Now he is running Mailspring in here. Oh, I was using that for a little while, but at the end of the day, I'd probably prefer to use Thunderbird. Thunderbird is just as good as any, really, at the end of the day, and it's open source. Got our driver manager. There's no proprietary drivers in use, so there's not much I can do with the driver manager there. My system info. So I suppose when you're running Cinnamon, the Cinnamon desktop itself is the same as every other desktop. You've got your standard things, your themes, and system settings. I'll just run through here and make sure he hasn't got anything different than the normal. So pretty much your standard Cinnamon settings from what I can see. I'm very sure I'm not missing anything there, I'm sure. Right click on the desktop, add desklets. Let's just, speaking of desklets and so forth, let's just go and have a look at themes, settings for themes. Oh no. Add remove available themes. Let's refresh that. I doubt whether this will differ at all from the standard Linux Mint Cinnamon. Probably all the same. Yeah, that looks pretty much the same as what you'd get with Linux Mint Cinnamon anyway. Applets. So you got your standard applets there as well for the Cinnamon desktop. You have desklets as well, so we'll just update and refresh the repos on that. And you have the extensions as well, which I don't really use extensions really on the Cinnamon desktop. I find a lot of them don't really work all that well. Some of them probably do. The ones I usually used to try is the which one, the wobbly windows and all that, desktop cube. They're not really, not sure if they really have their place in this desktop. Maybe they will work better in the future. So he has the configurable menu there, but it still has an error on there. So he still has an error on the configurable menu. So let's have a look at the configuration again. Okay. So he's got his menu laid out quite nicely anyway, I must say. Snapcraft, build and create snaps. Speed disk, manage Makulu speed disk. So he's got a few little of his own his own tools within Makulu Linux, that's for sure. You got the UKUU kernel update. So I was using that in, I think it was, I think I installed that in Plasma on KDE Neon, I think I did. And actually what, I didn't actually take any notice of the kernel we're running, so let's have a look at that anyway. 4.14, okay. So what other little tools have we got in here? It's got bleach bit, boot repair, ClamT cable, that's the antivirus he's got running in here. Let's have a quick look at that. Now, antivirus for Linux is questionable whether you need it or not, but it probably comes in handy if you're emailing or sending emails to Windows users. You want to make sure that you don't have any threats which would normally not affect your system but could affect somebody running Windows. So I'm not quite sure whether it's got network here, so history, updates, analysis, settings, scan directories, scan files. Okay, so it doesn't have anything for checking emails, does it? That I can see. Okay. It's using LeafPad as the text editor, which differs from the Cinnamon, which uses the Xed text editor. Stacer, Linux System Optimizer and Monitoring. Oh, that's that new one. Okay, so he's got that installed in there as well. That's quite nice. So this, I haven't really had much of a look at this. I've heard about this program, but really never really tried it. So straight up, that tells you what the system's doing. It's got a system cleaner, startup apps. So MailSpring is starting up. Yep, variety as well. So you can turn those off if you wish, which is probably the same as going to system settings and looking for, I think it's startup. If you just do a search for start, so startup applications. So you probably got a lot more system stuff in there than what you have in Stacer itself when it comes to startup apps. So there's a lot more in here. Not a lot more, but it's not definitely not showing everything in here. Uninstaller. So you can uninstall certain dependencies and apps and resources. So that's nice. It's not a bad little reporting tool for the system anyway, I must say. So that was Stacer. And variety, so we got variety here, which is pretty in depth, this this thing here, so you can choose it to change wallpaper every 2 hours or whatever, and I think it pulls wallpapers from somewhere, I believe. Oh no, it's pulling from the folder. Okay, so you can get it to, I think, copy favorite wallpapers to .config variety of favorites. So you got filters there, sync and social. So you can synchronize favorite images between computers. Save manually downloaded wallpapers to here. Color and size, customize. So I think you could do a whole video just on Variety itself. So you've got your two games there. Image Magic. Don't really use that, to be honest. Normally use GIMP. Don't know if it's opening or not. My Paint. That looks pretty cool. Image Magic didn't open up. I don't know. Or did I click the wrong one? No. Maybe that works in the background or something, I would say. Nomax, Pinter and Simple Scan. So you got the chat room, live chat room. Let's have a Makulu Forums live chat room. Okay. Read Makulu latest news. It's always a good idea to pop over to the Makulu website once in a while to see what's new and keep things up to date. Very good. Overdrive. I'm not sure if I've heard of this one before, Overdrive, to be honest. Obviously for Google Drive, before you can use Overdrive, you need to set up and authenticate your Google Drive folder. Click OK to run Overdrive. Set up now, cancel to quit. Oh, I'll just cancel that for now. So it's for Google Drive, definitely. And you got your Skype and your Discord. So WP Office, let's have a quick look anyway. Oh yeah, user. Some formula symbols might not be displayed correctly. Okay. That's WP Office. Lollipop music player. It's detecting an empty folder. Yep, it's probably because my folder is empty. Kazam is a nice little screen recorder. I didn't realize that was in there. I would have used that one instead. Works quite well, Kazam. Pulse audio volume control. Testing 1, 2, 3. VLC media player. Wine. Preferences should all be what's in the system settings, I would say. App grid we've looked at. Boot repair, bug report. He's also got dconf editor in here by default. Donations. gparted is installed even after installing, because sometimes a lot of installers remove gparted once you've installed. You've got your grub customizer, a login window, Makulu constructor. So I haven't really tried this, I'm not sure how this works, but so the top row icons are for editing the compiler options, the second row for the installer options, the third row tools and last row is for help. Okay. Should you wish to change any options, just follow the instructions in files or pop-up prompts. Your completed ISO will be put into home snapshot directory. Very nice. Mega Cloud Sync. So I've got an error report there for that. Let's cancel that. Mega syncing between your computers and your Mega Cloud drive. I don't have that, so for anyone who's got that, might be handy for you. Network, new login, news we've looked at. Snapcraft GUI, so you can build and create snaps. Speed disk has not been set up on this computer. Let's run that. So a speed disk is a RAM drive that is created from your existing system memory. It can increase performance greatly on resource-hungry tasks. We will now create your speed disk to your preferred size. Please select from the options below. You will need to reboot your computer for the drive to be activated. Okay. Okay, so that's new. Not quite sure how that works. Synaptic, terminal, toolbox, kernel updater, USB creator. What's he using now? USB creator. Okay. We got a help and about or anything here? Okay. Let's just have a quick look at file system, user share applications, looking for USB. USB creator, let's have a look at the properties on that. USB-creator. Okay. Users and groups, UX term, terminal emulator. Down here you got your link to the MegaSync. I'll probably take that out. Time, date. So I suppose looking at this distro here, it's quite snappy, I must say, so it's pretty fast. And the advantages of this Makulu is in the themes side of things. So if you're running Linux Mint, you're going to have to go and look around for themes. If you're lucky to find them that'll work on here. There are places you can go to get them, but at the moment some of those aren't coming up with these things because the GTK's been updated, so I think they've all broken. But because Jacques Rama, I'm not sure, I'll just call him Shark, he makes sure that these all integrate very well with the system. So you have all these different window packs out of the box, and then you've got the extra themes, which is in here, desktop themes that you can install from here, available themes. And you might like something from the standard cinnamon menu here within the themes that you like to use as well. You could add that in on top of what Jacques has already put in here. So that's the advantage I see with this, and he's got quite a few of his own little tools going on as well. So it's a little bit like Ferran OS. He's got his own little spin on the Cinnamon desktop. It's not bad. Quite like his theming. It's not too bad at all. Actually, if we have one more look at the themes, we could probably, if we wanted to dull that down a bit, controls. You have a Vista there, so you've got a bit of a darker theme there. Windows Whistler, Win 10 Grey, Win 8 Blue. And Vista's probably the darker one out of the lot. Add Wader. Even Add Wader is not too bad. Win 7 Blue's pretty good. I think that's what we were using before. So we've got half the size window going on there. So if we go to System Settings, we go to Window Tiling and Maximize instead of Tile, and then we can just drag that up there to full screen. So overall, I'm reasonably happy with this operating system. It's quite nice. It works pretty well. Got some nice wallpapers, and overall, it's quite a good experience. So reasonably happy with this indeed. I'm going to try something a little bit darker there. I'm going to try maybe Makulu Linux Shift and see what the differences with that is. I wouldn't mind putting, I know Shift has got different, some different icons and themes in it, a lot different to this one. So yeah, this is all Windows themes here. I would like to have all these Windows themes available, so I might just pinch a couple of those and maybe add them into Shift, because I know Shift has LibreOffice as well. I'm not sure whether it's running the configurable menu or not. I think it did. I think it is, but we'll find out. So that's Makulu Linux Lindoz. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.